So good evening, everyone. So today this is Rahul and Bhavesh. We are here to give a view for the coming days and the analysis we have been doing in past. The view we had given on 3rd of June, which was the top of I would say the Indian financial markets, as well as you can call it the top of global markets as well. The global markets have been falling since then. They have either consolidated or fallen later, or most of them have dipped except few markets like the Saudi market. It has been on the upside, and Saudi market fell later. It fell on Sunday, but it was consolidating since a while. So firstly, I'll start with the technical part. There will be three aspects in this video. Firstly, how we understood the technical and how we are looking at the technical further. Then second is the data. Data includes the OI data as well as I would say OI data and Excel sheet data which we study, the data from FIIs and DIIs. And the third part is, which is most important, is fundamentals, how fundamentals triggered and how things work. Apart from this, I'll be covering Dow Jones as well, how global markets were functioning throughout the time. So I'll start with the technical part first. Okay. So as per my setup, the 16700 was given as a target, one of the targets when we were trading on the bullish side. So 16700 मैंने दिया था, and this was an important resistance as per me, 600 700 region, and we gave a fake out. I would say fake outs. I think everyone is used to listening to fake outs many times. So we got a fake out on the upside, then we gave a dip, we formed a hammer. We formed a 1 hour hammer here to trap people. And on this day itself, during the closing, weekly, I clearly said if we get a closing below 16700 on daily basis, it was a weekly closing as well because it was Friday. If we get it, I will be turning sideways. Initially, my view till here was sideways. But when I got the confirmation as per data, I turned bearish. So my bearish view was intact throughout the week, or I would say 10-15 days. So yeah, this is all. And apart from this, when the markets dipped, we have been getting minor rises to go short. And honestly, if you ask me, we have shorted at all rises. We have taken shorts over here. We have taken shorts over here. We have taken shorts at this point. We have taken shorts this day. We were waiting for short covering. We took a short here. And then we have captured this. Like I would say out of 700 point fall, we have captured at least 50 to 60% of it, and some rallies on the upside as well in form of short covering, I would say. And then when the markets have been sideways, like today and today and the day before, we have been capturing it in straddles. So things have been working good. View has been going right. So coming forward to the technical part, firstly I would say कि अभी तक जो हुआ इसमें आपको potential entries आप कहाँ पे ले सकते हो. फर्स्टली वो देखेंगे, डेटा का पूरा एक्सप्लेनेशन आपको भावेश देगा, एंड देन मैं थोड़ा सा डेटा अपने वे में आपको समझाऊंगा कि मैं क्या देखता हूँ, बट मेजर पार्ट में भी डन बाय भावेश. So technically, see, firstly, this was a good place to go short, I would say, and we didn't take short at this point. What we did was we took a straddle, and ultimately we ended up in green. And then this was the point where we started making profits. These were the major points जहां से profits आए, because this was defined as the top on 3rd of June, and we got a confirmation from data. So when we were confirmed, the move was confirmed. From 16,500, we kept on shorting all the rises, and we haven't turned bullish positionally even now. So looking forward today, what we did was कि यहाँ पे जितने भी positions आप देख रहे थे हमारे, हमने update किया, हम लोगों ने पूरा straddle play किया, and in such markets, straddle can give you good returns as well. So this is the technical part. Looking forward with the technical part, what I am expecting honestly is a rise till 16050 or 16100 levels won't surprise me honestly. This is a region jahan se you can expect a reversal if you are a bear, and my view is bearish as of now. I'll be looking at the data as well. There is a lot of news floating in coming days in the stock market, like globally अभी news आने वाली है, तो fundamental part में उसको हम लोग cover करेंगे, but technically what I feel is a 16050 16100 level pullback would be great. I'm talking about everything on hourly and daily closing. So if intraday we go to 17150, don't come and question me कि आपने 16050 बोला था, हमने वहाँ short किया and stop loss आ गया. Entries and exits you have to take on your own. We are here to give you views, and the views we follow, the trades we take, we update it on Telegram. Almost all of the trades have been updated. So we'll look at the Telegram later. But coming to the technical point, I'm even if we get a gap down or a flattish opening, I'm expecting some consolidation somewhere around here and an upside to trap all the bulls, because everyone will think that this is a good support and people will start buying at this point. And ultimately one day, either in the form of a gap down or a huge fall, all the lows will be taken out and we'll be heading downwards. This is my view for the coming days. Apart from this, above 16,100, I'll be turning bullish, but not positionally bullish again. I'll be turning bullish for some days when the data shows me, not just the data, I would say, Excel sheet data, OI data, when everything clearly says that I need to go short, I'll take my shots again. So I'll be handing over to Bhavesh now, and later we'll be telling about all the entries and exits we have taken. But firstly, let's cover the data part.
So on 3rd June, we updated everybody on Telegram and YouTube that we think the top has been formed. And I personally said, I am a little bit biased on the bearish side because there were fundamental reasons attached to it. And also the data on such days where pros were extremely bearish, and you could see from the data that they were adding their bearish positions. So what has happened is, the fundamental reasons are crude. FIIs are on selling spree. They have kept on selling the markets. Then there is inflation. There was expectation of interest rate hikes in India and for Fed US. So on 3rd, I'm talking about 3rd June. So that's why there were so many global reasons that were there and local news were there that was indicating that the markets are not stable. We might fall. So that's how we predicted. And I have like literally all the short covering. We have got the tops and we have sold so many call options in these days. And I have also shared my views on our Telegram channel that the reasons and what we have done. So you can watch that or learn from that, see how we analyze the market. Coming to the current, Rahul, you want me to explain what has happened through these data? Like this, you're showing
Yeah,
me
let's go with the data, Bhavesh, initially, and then we'll cover it. This is the data from 2nd June, and the top has been formed at 3rd June.
So I think this was expiry, right? 2nd June.
2nd of June.
2nd or 3rd was a Thursday.
This day we took put shots, I think. So
yeah. So the second is the expiry. So we actually first took the put shots, and then the next day I changed my. I think it was 3rd that we took put shots.
Yeah, we took put shots on 3rd, right? This is the expiry data.
Second was
this is the data from
expiry.
3rd.
Yeah. So on 3rd, the data, as you can see, pros have Rahul, could you highlight 66,000? They kept on buying puts, and 1,14,000 they have written calls. So this is the 3rd June's data. So I knew that somewhere that if we have gapped up the data, as soon as we gapped up on, I could remember Bank Nifty, there was a huge call writing at 36,000. So we knew that there are so much call writing, market could not sustain higher levels. Ultimately, we fall, and there were fundamental repairs to it. Move on. Let's show them 2-3 data how it has developed. Yeah. So here you can see they have again increased their call shots. Put they have booked their profits. On this is 6th or 4th. This is 6th.
This is 6th.
On 7th, let's see 7th.
Yeah. I'm doing this because most of the people ask us about the data, how we look at it. So we are covering.
So the thing is, I have seen so many people who analyze FII's data. I don't analyze FII data. I actually go with pros. If you see FIIs, they have been selling since 5-6 months now. So you cannot rely on such data. And I have believed in pros. Pros are generally individuals with high net worth. So I believe in them that they are almost right most of the time. So I have been following them since 4-5 months, and it is working out pretty great. So if they are there, I actually think I am biased towards bearish side, and I also look for any opportunity that might trigger a short coverage. So that's how I have I analyze data. So many people have asked me, how do you analyze all such things, and how do if you watch us on Telegram, we actually time the market that 2, 3 there might be a short coverage. The reason so many people give so many other reasons to it, so many YouTubers, that some say it is a VI buying that is triggering a short covering, or it is people are operators manipulating, all such things I hear. It's actually not that. If you actually look at the data, when there is excessive call shots in the market, market when people start to book profit, market that's called short covering, right? When there are so many call shots, and when people book that, market tends to move higher because it's a stock covering. So I give timing that people will start to. If you see in my analysis or any of my comments, uh, I have given my comments that expect a short covering after 2 or after 2:30. That's because that's the time where everybody will start to think to consider booking profits, and that's why market go higher. So that was my plan on these all these days because market was volatile. What happened? There is so much of call writing, and there is so much of bearish position, as you can see, that pros have written calls blindly. So when that happens, near to expiry on Wednesdays or Thursday, or when there is excessive short on Tuesday as well. So many times we have seen that. When there is excessive call shots, people tend to book profit if market has already fallen. And when that happens, market tends to go higher. So that is why I have so many times written that I am exiting my position at 12, 1, 2, and I'll be waiting for a rise, or I'll be selling I'll be taking call shots on the day end, like 3:15 or 3:30. I'll carry my positions. So that is how we have positioned ourselves in all these days, and you can actually look each and every day that closer to expiry, there is a short covering that market tends to go higher, close higher, and the next day we gap down. Like here, you can see we have even on I would say so many days here also that market tends to go up, and then again next day it's a gap down. It's actually short covering. People are booking their positions, so that's one thing that you should actually learn. People say it's DII buying or manipulation that big players wanted to close at that level. That is why they have done that. It's actually not true. It's the short covering. People are booking their profits. So that's there. Rahul, anything that apart from this that we have to share on this?
See, I think everyone is clear with the data now. So,
Yeah. So people
and
who have had this confusion that how we analyze data, how we time the market, that's how I do.
yeah,
Excessive call shots, please consider booking your profits. Wait for a rise, a pullback, and then you could go again call shorting. So
yeah.
and vice versa if there, but the market is bullish.
Yes. I think one more thing I would like to add to the point. This is the data from 7th June to 8th June. So let's look at the chart from 7th June to 8th June. What actually happened? I very well remember कि 7th June आपका ये है, वो 8th June को डेटा आया है, right? So अगर मान लो आपको डेटा में बहुत ज्यादा कॉल शॉट्स दिख जाते हैं किसी भी पॉइंट पे, if it's a number, I would say I would don't follow it religiously, but most of the times this happens. If the call shots above it is above 3.8, the number is above 3.8. Definitely, if you have bought a call, if you have sold a call at 150 rupees and markets have fallen 200 points and the call is at 20 rupees, what will you do? Will you wait for this 20 to get zero, or will you book it, wait for another rise? Exactly what Bhavesh said. You will be waiting for another rise. You may get the same call at maybe 90 or 100 rupees, or you may shift your strike down. You will go in the money and you will short better calls. Like ये 20 rupees के लिए कोई नहीं रुकेगा, right? सब लोग zero नहीं करते premium. So that is only on the expiry day. So this is the reason market goes up. I'll explain it in technical terms. आप support resistance देखते हो, उसने same चीज data के form में बताई. आप जब support resistance देखते हो, market में हमने एक market structure पढ़ा है, lower low lower highs क्या होता है, ठीक है? तो लोअर लो लोअर हाइज जब बन रहे हैं तो मार्केट ट्रेंड को आपको वायलेट नहीं करना है. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो ये जो राइजेस जितने भी होते हैं ना, दीज आर शॉर्ट कवरिंग. दिस इज प्रॉफिट बुकिंग. If you have sold something at 6 rupees, it is trading at 3 rupees, you have huge quantities, you will put book profits, and the smart people will book profits, so it will come to 4 5 rupees, and that is what we call a pullback, and we used to use it to go short in the market. So technically this is how it is explained. Data, if it goes above 3.5, I get cautious. I don't short the market if the market is at lows because I find it risky. Short covering, kabhi bhi wo log profit book karenge, there will be two such candles which will take away all of your profits. So focus on this thing. The best time to trade it is what I feel is the best time to trade the bearish side is when the call shots are around 80,000 or 1 lakh or maybe 1.8 or 2. ये डेटा जब भी आता है ना, तो आप देखना अगले दिन मार्केट या तो गैप डाउन करता है या तो डिप करता है, और ये डेटा को पहले से एंटिसिपेट भी करना पड़ता है कि ये हो सकता है. So I will explain a gist of it that as well, how I and Bhavesh look at it. So firstly I'll say कि यहाँ पे जब मार्केट था, आपने देखा डेटा पे कॉल शॉट्स है. तो अब आप ये समझो कि आप ओआई भी साथ में देखना उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे कि ओआई क्या बिल्ड हो रहा है. The OI which will be building is call writing. Definitely call writing आएगी. भवेश सेट की बैंक निफ्टी पे 36,000 पे कॉल राइटिंग आएगी. सो अगर वो कॉल राइटिंग कर रहे हैं तो वो लोग कौन से स्ट्राइक्स में करेंगे? 17,000 में करेंगे टेक्निकली, और सारी चीजें आपको ये टॉप बोल रही है 17,000, 16,900, 800, 700, 600, 500. ठीक है, ये मान लो 5 लेवल्स पे उन्होंने किया. और जितना मार्केट, उनको सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉफिट्स किस में होंगे? किन कॉल शॉट्स में होंगे? जो सबसे पास है, राइट, जो सबसे पास होंगे. Because these calls will be expensive. These are the OTM calls, these are the ITM calls. So if you short more premium, you capture more premium, right? So if you are shorting 16,700 calls, 600 calls and 500 calls, okay, you will look at the OI. Now we identify कि ये जो लोग हैं ये प्रोस ही है, ये रिटेलर्स नहीं है. This is how we look at the market. That is the reason यहाँ पे मार्केट जब 500 600 आया, मार्केट गैप डाउन कर गया. यहाँ पे जब मार्केट 600 आया तब गिर गया, क्योंकि हमें पता था 600 और 500 में प्रोस बैठे हैं. इसीलिए हम ये बड़े बड़े मूव्स ट्रेड नहीं कर रहे थे. कर भी रहे थे तो हम लोग तुरंत एग्जिट कर रहे थे. सो अब ये हो जाता है कि 500 से आएगा या 600 से रिवर्सल आएगा. 600 ऑलरेडी हम एक बार टेस्ट कर चुके हैं, और उस पर जितनी बार वो टेस्ट होता है उतना टाइम दे रहे हो आप कॉल राइटर्स को आने का. एम आई राइट भावेश? अगर आप
Yes.
बार बार वो लेवल पे जा रहे हो तो आप कॉल राइटर्स को अपॉर्चुनिटी दे रहे हो आने की. तो वो 600 पे कॉल राइटर्स आ गए थे. 500 आया था एक्सपायरी पे, यहाँ पे एग्जैक्टली इस पॉइंट पे हमने कॉल शॉट किया था. वी टुक अ कॉल शॉट एंड दिस वाज द ट्रेड वी कैप्चर्ड, बिकॉज वी न्यू 500 नहीं टूट रहा है, क्योंकि प्रोस के पास मे बी नेक्स्ट वीक के कॉल शॉट्स होंगे, या जो आप डेटा पे देख रहे हो कॉल शॉट्स वो प्रोस के हैं. सो ये सारी चीजें आपको एंटिसिपेट करनी है कि प्रोस क्या कर रहे हैं. सो दिस इज हाउ वी लुक एट द मार्केट्स. There are many other things I would say. This is one of the things. OI data matters a lot. जैसे at this point only we knew, if panic is not created today itself, there was a panic, no doubt there was a panic, but if it is not, a follow through is not there, हमें पता था मार्केट साइडवेज हो जाएगा, तो 2 दिन से हम लोग स्ट्रैटेजी प्ले कर रहे हैं. There is no need to do anything else. So
Yes.
play what the situation demands. It's not about doing directional, non directional. जो सिचुएशन बोल रहा है वो करो. अगर कोई आपको ये बोल रहा है आप सिर्फ ऑप्शंस बाय करो या ऑप्शंस सेल करो, या फिर आप आपको जो सूटेबल लग रहा है वो पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे आप वो करो. मैंने इसीलिए ऑप्शन बाइंग थोड़ी सी कम कर दी है, बिकॉज ऑप्शन सेलिंग के लिए मार्केट मेरे को बहुत आइडियल लग रहा है. आई एम टेकिंग पुट्स. जैसे आज मैंने कॉल साइड पे एक ट्रेड किया, 2 ट्रेड्स किया एक्चुअली कॉल साइड पे. सो मिक्स इट अप एंड ट्रेड इट वेल. दैट इज माय मैसेज. एंड डेटा
And
में आई थिंक दिस इज ऑल.
Rahul, I also want to clear things that people have asked me. Why did I say short covering on an expiry is actually a weakness? I have a theory, but I have an observation that if any short covering that is coming to the market which could sustain the market, the time is actually 12, 1, 1:30. Is this time that comes, then that's actually people have turned bullish, or there is something that is driving the market up, and then the short covering sustainable. That the time is important, because now people still have 3-4 hours to trade. Now they cannot sit at call short and wait the very market will come down, in spite of seeing that there is a huge short covering that is coming. So that is why people change their stance from being bearish to bullish around 132. But when there is a short covering or huge short covering at 2:45, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:15, generally those are profit booking, considered as profit booking, and market have gone up much more than they should, because people have now panicked. So on expiry day, I remember it was 9th, we closed around 500. I got a huge opportunity there, because 500, I mean, pros were really bearish. Fundamental reasons were very bearish. And the reason is we rallied in last, if you remember, last half an hour or 1 hour on an expiry day. So I knew that this is nothing but a profit booking. Use this opportunity to go short. So that's where we went short, and we started doing call short blindly, all strikes, whatever we used to get, we used to write heavy quantities every day. So that's how we did around, I book my profits at 2:30, come back at 3:30, and may, short the market. So have important observation is time the market. 12:30, 1:30 short covering, that could be sustainable. Any short covering that is coming post 3 2:45, analyze it properly, because generally that is a profit booking, and next day people would be trapped on bullish side, and market is going to gap down. So that is an important observation that we need to look for, and analyze how market works.
This actually happened here as well. This was a short covering. This is just a 1 hour green candle, right? But this was short
Yeah.
covering. If you guys remember, data आप लोग देख लेना इसका जाके. So this gave us a chance to take shots, right, Bhavesh? यही पे हमने short
Yes.
किया था.
Yes.
So
So
even though
every day I remember all the falls. Every day I have entered into call shot around 328, 329, 326.
yeah,
Almost all days I have entered and I've given my analysis post mark like 6 or 5:30 that I have entered short.
yeah.
Or every day almost I have entered shots, except for last 2 days. I guess I have entered into straddle because already fallen. Now everybody is turning bearish. So now if Rahul says everybody turning bearish, there is no point actually now because the bottom might be near if everybody is staring bearish.
Yeah. So that is the reason I am also like a little skeptical about getting a dip directly from here. आना होगा तो आ जाएगा. I will be scalping. I'll tell you. See, firstly, from this video, इस वीडियो में पहले के पुराने updates हैं. Then look at it for analysis. From this video, I'll start covering कि हमने भावेश कैसे कैसे positions create किए. We don't exactly remember कि हमने क्या किया था, but हमने अपने views नीचे लिखे और उसके according positions आपके सामने हैं. So this was our active position on I think this is 6th of June. So this was
Yeah.
non-directional move which I was expecting, and 2-3 hours से कोई move नहीं आने वाला था. And this is the update I would give. 35,300 straddle, Bhavesh, if you remember.
Yes.
We
Yes.
were sitting in straddle, and this was the positional put I took. Okay. So this was taken before the major fall came. So this I was trailing, and I think the ROI on this was around 75%, which I captured. So this was a position put, and straddles ultimately gave some money. And then during this trade, when I was expecting a minor short covering that day, I did a scalp. We did a scalp. Like we took some put shots and bought some calls and did a scalp on the upside. So this was the position that was again created, and ultimately market closed in a non-directional way. Then again this day we got a sideways data, because what happened is कि आप call shots देखो, इनका increment इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है 5th June or 6th June में. So this was sort of sideways, and at this point, if you look, these were the puts they had, right? These were the puts they had. They had booked some puts, or maybe they had shorted some puts. So this is the reason the difference made it sideways. So I was expecting a sideways day, and we clearly gave that 16,700 to 16,400 was given at the first target. And as soon as it broke, we turned ultra bearish, and apart from that, again we were making constantly we were making sideways to bearish positions. You can look at the straddles. 35,000 straddle है यहाँ पे. Then मैंने नीचे का भी आपको स्क्रीनशॉट इस पे दिया था कि 35,000 straddle है, और कॉल शॉट आप देख रहे हो यहाँ पे. हम लोग ने कॉल शॉट भी किया है, और वो पुट रनिंग है जो मैंने आपको ऊपर दिखाई थी, जिस पे ROI काफी है. 274 is the price, 367. I've sold it somewhere around 370 or 380. So again, looking at the position, bearish to sideways, playing in straddle. This was, I think, this is 7th June.
Seven because 7th pros booked their puts. So I was not convinced that there is going to be huge down move. So that is why we were bearish to sideways. Like we were playing straddles at lower levels.
Yeah. Then I gave clearly data was again respected. See, it's always the data. If something is happening in the market which is going against you, always understand it can be the news which can affect you. Pros can be wrong. Like they can be wrong 2 out of 10 times, 8 times they are right. So your point is to be right the maximum number of times. And if there is no news, then your anticipation of data or price is wrong, or either the market is hunting you. And right now, in a stage, I would say, in an experience of maybe 2 years since we have been in markets, we have been hunted. We know the ways markets can hunt us. Like Bhavesh, give you a simple example. Okay, when we used to trade initially, हम लोग क्या करते थे? We took shorts, we took straddles. हमें पता था short covering आएगी. Still we used to sit in it. या फिर हम ये सोचते थे कि यार straddle ही तो है. But the point is कि अभी हमें पता है कि straddle hunt करने के लिए आएगा. So we place our entries where everyone is hunted. Like the points where everyone is thinking about buying calls because closing अच्छी है. I have few messages where people have stated कि we bought calls because market support पे था. वो short covering लोगों को put writing दिख रही है. So I'm just giving you simple examples. This was the technical aspect I gave behind this fall. Then again, see, this day I took the trailing SL and data, and in the video, RBI
That
policy
was
का
my
clearly that was
RBI
explained by
regarding
Bhavesh.
RBI index.
Yeah. So he was expecting a short covering rally and you can see क्या हुआ था इस दिन एक ये weird सा up move आया था बीच में.
Hmm.
This pump came. You won't believe, Bhavesh, let's tell them what happened here. We took put shots somewhere around here. Okay. Put shots and
Yes.
call. Call थोड़ा सा ऊपर भाई गया था. Put shots यहाँ पे लिए थे. You won't believe profit went around 1. It almost touched 1L. We saw that and market suddenly dipped. We were expecting a short covering. But what happened is कि we got a shooting star and data यहाँ पे ना धीरे 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 bearish turn होना start हो गया था. मतलब कॉल राइटिंग आना स्टार्ट हो गई. तो शॉर्ट कवरिंग को फॉलो थ्रू नहीं मिल रहा था. इस दिन हमारी लर्निंग क्या थी, जब भी शॉर्ट कवरिंग को फॉलो थ्रू नहीं मिलता, बेसिकली क्या हो रहा था कि लोग हंट हो गए, लोग शॉर्ट कवरिंग एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं, लोगों ने टॉप पे बाय कर लिया, तो मार्केट या तो साइडवेज होगा या तो मार्केट गिरेगा. So we turned sideways to bearish again. This was the pullback we traded. We traded really well. We exited CTC. No doubt after seeing a good profit, we exited CTC. But that wasn't an issue. And this is the only red day we had in June 14th. So again, we were unable to manage to buy somewhere around here. We took call short somewhere around.
We took 20,000 SL, मतलब 20,000 का loss था, and then we were carrying call shots for the next day.
Yeah. So we took call shots here. We booked a good profits in this, and again data turned bullish. We were expecting short covering.
Ninth was actually an expiry day. And I have told you that there were excessive calls. If you see 8th data, I think you could see that there was excessive call. 8th ka data.
8th ka data, no? Yeah, this was the day. This was the day we booked losses. Yeah,
20,000 loss था जो last में, and then
इधर हम लोग भावेश call shot.
This is next day. Yeah, this is next day. Actually, you can तेरा folder में दिखा दे data. 8th June. Because that's important. I think we had around 4,12,000. Yeah, 4,06,000 call shots. So with that excessive call shots, you might expect a short covering. So that is why we booked our profits and we were safe. And हम लोग थोड़ा सा put short किए थे, and I don't remember.
No, भावेश actually हम लोग राइस पे कॉल शॉट किए थे, फिर शॉट किया था, स्टैंडर्ड्स में प्ले कर रहे थे. जैसे यहाँ पे हमने एक बहुत अच्छे राइस पे कॉल शॉट किया था, पुट्स को एवरेज किया था, और यहाँ पे मैंने अपनी पुट का आई थिंक ट्रेलिंग एसएल लिया था यहाँ कहीं पे. एंड देन दिस वाज द टॉप. आई क्लियरली मैसेज्ड कि ये 1239 है. यू कैन लुक एट दिस. आई वेरी वेल रिमेंबर दिस डे एज वेल बिकॉज दिस कैंडल, yeah, this is the 1215 candle. See, what happens is even if you're proved wrong, you get an exit. Your entries should be precise. That is all that matters. हमने यहाँ पे भावेश की पहली बार कॉल शॉट किया था और यहाँ पे हम सीटी से निकल गए थे because technically भावेश saw something which was unfavorable for a fall from here. Then at exact peak, we took a call shot. We captured this move. We took a trailing stop loss somewhere around here. We left this entire move, Bhavesh. We were waiting for call shots यहाँ पे.
And I actually took 0-0 and I failed there. 2,000 rupees loss or 5,000 rupees loss.
Yeah. So we were expecting a dip, but not after such a big short covering. हमें लग रहा था short covering खत्म हो गई, but वो रुक के आ रही थी. So that is थोड़ा सा unusual. So this was the 0-0 he said.
And I actually gave everybody reminder that call shots. I'm trailing very tight because short covering can trigger any time. If you can see first message super. I very clearly said the time is 1:20 because I knew 2 बजे के बाद short covering आ सकती है. So trail it.
So this was again he took a call shot, and you can clearly look what happened after this. This was probably the biggest dip, or I would say the biggest hit the market.
Friday, yeah.
So
because everybody got hunted Thursday, we were around 474 that we closed. Everybody turned bullish or bears were hunted. 400 was taken down, which was one of the important level for all the bears. It was taken down on expiry. So everybody had this bullish momentum. So
okay, so Bhavesh, I would like to cover Dow यहाँ पे. I will explain about Dow as well. See, I'll explain some things. I've been talking about it with Bhavesh. He knows since he has been following me since 1 year. There are some things in the market which happen, like history repeats itself. आपने सुना होगा, और ये actually true है. अगर कुछ past में हुआ है तो there is a very high probability कि market वो चीज दोबारा करेगा. ठीक है. तो I have a memory, I would say. I have backtested the data from 2002-2003 कि market जब भी गिरता है, be it Dow Jones, be it Nifty or Bank Nifty. See, I'm the person who can find tops and bottoms technically, followed by Bhavesh confirming with the data and me myself confirming with data. So see, this was the point, I think somewhere around here only from 1st June consolidation. We clearly were turning bearish. धीरे धीरे डाउ bearish हो रहा था. मैं डाउ को लॉन्ग करने का सोच ही नहीं रहा था. So यहाँ पे if you are taking a scalp on all of these days, what I did was I told Bhavesh that डाउ अभी नहीं गिरेगा. It may fall after some days, but it will fall definitely because this is my setup. All of you know this is a swing. You are consolidating above a swing. And exactly at this point where when this consolidation matured, I would say it's around 8 days of consolidation. So either distribution is happening or accumulation is happening. 99.9% people are thinking that it's accumulation. Okay, I have written it in the message as well, but it is actually distribution because this is basically a lower high, and lower high पे सबको लग रहा है यहाँ पे break of structure हो गया and people are looking to buy at this point. So people have their stop losses here. All the bears are out of the market. Who because this was a major swing, right? यहाँ से market ने bottom बना के एक rise दिया था. तो हम लोग ने यहाँ bottom capture किया, यहाँ पे top capture किया. And this is what honestly I have been doing. I have captured almost all the tops and bottoms of Dow, and we have captured together, me and Bhavesh, in Nifty and Bank Nifty. All the 6 tops and bottoms, we have been helping each other and captured it. So I'll tell you one thing: never buy such consolidation. This is my message. And you can look at the fall. This is the candle जिसके top पे market was around 32, I think यहाँ कहीं पे 32,760 के around मैंने आपको message कर दिया था. You can look at this date as well. This is 10th June and this is around 12 p.m. The markets kept on falling and I said it is going to crack down. Short only 50% because if there is a pullback, you could average your positions. Go and listen to this voice note. We have given a clear view in voice note, and my point was कि I had some positional quantities throughout the 4-5 days, but that was very less. But the major quantities or the major tranche was added when I got the confirmation. Trailing SL was 33k. SGX Nifty fell down. Then we had some jokes cracking around. Then we took the beat. We booked the BTST here. I think Bhavesh 10th June, right?
Yeah.
We booked the BTST. Then I think Bhavesh I took a scalp, right? This was a scalp I took.
Yeah.
Call short में मैंने यहाँ पे scalp किया था. Yeah. So this was
thing with the BTSC was we are very far out of the money because everybody was full.
Yes.
We had quantities, but बहुत दूर के.
This was one of the regrets, I would say. We had
Yes.
a little regret because see, even we are learning every day, right? So we will be learning, and इधर conviction आना किसी का भी. Honestly, hats off to Bhavesh. Even I was bearish, but I didn't have this conviction or courage to take a shot at this point. Okay, तो even he अब ये देखो बैंक निफ्टी कहाँ क्लोज किया है. बैंक निफ्टी यहाँ पे क्लोज किया है 35,000. भावेश ने कहाँ का कॉल शॉट किया
700 or 800
आउट ऑफ द many. क्योंकि
800 yes
800 किया ना. तो we were thinking कि हमें जो पॉइंट्स हैं हम लोग अपनी एनालिसिस पे ट्रस्ट करना है. This was a rise to short, clearly a rise to short. So again in the morning 9:15 itself I took a scalp trade. I very well remember. Bhavesh exited the call shots. And then see what I do is whenever my setup is formed I take a trade. So Nifty में if you go and look at it, and at 9:15 data build भी नहीं हुआ होता honestly ना, तो आप जो scalping करनी है ना वो कर सकते हो. मतलब हम लोग काफी करते हैं, and I would like to share this with you all. This was exactly मैंने बैंक निफ्टी शॉर्ट किया था निफ्टी देख के. This was a fake out again. As I give the 9:15 candle is very important for me. I took the short somewhere around here. I booked it somewhere around here. As simple as that. So I took the same strike. I think या फिर नहीं मैंने नीचे का strike trade किया. We got, and then I clearly said sitting patiently for my turn because market has given a big gap down. Market should give a pullback, be it a small pullback, but a pullback. So
every now and then we updated that short covering might be triggered. Use 2 p.m. rise, or I believe 2 p.m. 3 p.m. you also got a rise to carry some call shots every day. That there was a rise somewhere between 2:33 and we got a rise and we used that to carry call shots.
Again, we took a scalp and we increased it. See, बहुत easy है ये करना. 39, 59 and you look at it 73. Minor हम लोग scalp करते रहते हैं क्योंकि पता होता है डेटा देख के. तो डाउ का टारगेट आ गया था. Then looking towards this, this is EOD क्या भावेश? नहीं, हाँ, we were waiting for short covering. So short covering ultimately I took a stop loss. I'll tell you about the only stop loss we have in this week as well. So what happened is I was trading Bank Nifty. Okay. Bhavesh was expecting a short covering. Okay. He clearly said 2 बजे के आसपास short covering आएगी. And what I did was somewhere around here. This was a good support. I took calls. and I was expecting कि 34,500 आएगा एक बार. I gave Bhavesh 34,500 as my target. I got hunted. I got stopped out. I booked a loss of 16,000. Then again we took call shots because ये तो decided था कि 34,500 पे call shot करना ही. अब वहां तक मार्केट आएगा ये मुझे प्राइस एक्शन से दिख रहा था. तो नो डाउट वी गॉट हंटेड. And again, I think this was the best trade of the, I would say the entire session, entire 14 days we have had. We took call shots here. At this point, I will tell you the story, what actually happened. We took call shots somewhere around here. Okay. In some accounts, we took Bank Nifty plus Nifty. Somewhere I took just Bank Nifty. So, इधर जब close हो रहा था ना exactly at 329, I and Bhavesh were having a conversation कि Dow Jones जो है, it will आज inflation का data है.
I tell you that day it was an inflation data. So if inflation का data turns out to be bullish, मतलब good, US market will rally up. अगर नहीं तो market will rally down. I said the data is there to call short. It's just the US का data shouldn't be there, and that's where Rahul says, you know, the price action is really bad. He is not expecting that a rise would come. So Rahul, you explain your logic. So how do you see?
Yeah, see,
Dow?
my point is whenever some data is in favor, okay, price action supports it. When price action is in favor, data supports it. So see, आप न्यूज ले आओ या कुछ भी ले आओ, ये जो सेटअप है ये गलत नहीं जा सकता. इसकी एक्यूरेसी मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, ये मैंने आज तक गलत जाते हुए नहीं देखा अपने लाइफ में. जिस दिन देखूंगा आई विल हैप्पीली एक्सेप्ट इट एंड आई विल स्टिल ट्रेड दिस सेटअप. This is a bearish setup. So if you bring inflation data, I will play it down because I have given a breakdown and this can't be a fake out because this is distribution. So I clearly knew data अच्छा आएगा फिर भी market गिरेगा and people will say कि उसको badly anticipate किया है या फिर लोग ये बोलेंगे कि डेटा अच्छा था इसीलिए गिर गया क्योंकि वो डिस्काउंट हो चुका है. I'll tell you how fundamentals work, what people do. I'll tell you how the news channels work and most of the fundamental analysts work. When technicals show a fall, market falls. So if market actually rose from here, they will say कि यार डेटा अच्छा था इसलिए ऊपर चला गया. और अब गिर गया, ठीक है, तो वो लोग ये बोलेंगे डेटा डेफिनेटली खराब आया था ना भावेश, खराब आया था.
Yes, it was very
तो वो
bad.
लोग बोल रहे हैं कि वो गिर गया. लेकिन अगर डेटा खराब होने के बावजूद ये ऊपर चला जाता ना तो पता है लोग क्या बोलेंगे. पीपल विल से कि सबको लग रहा था गिरने वाला है इसलिए मार्केट ऊपर चला गया. तो आप ये समझो कि न्यूज का एंटिसिपेशन सेंटीमेंट है और सेंटीमेंट आप गेज नहीं कर सकते हो जब तक आपको बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है. तो हमने हमारे टेक्निकल्स पे ट्रस्ट किया, भावेश को डेटा पे ट्रस्ट था. आई क्लियरली सेड डाउ को मैं ऊपर नहीं जाने दूंगा आफ्टर दिस सेटअप and we took a short and this was probably the trade of the month, I would say. Again we have some regrets despite the conviction we had. We didn't buy puts, we took call shots and again thoda sa OTM kiya tha. So now since we are learning, we are in good position.
It's
right
also
now.
better to be safe, right? Because call shots say you get 60 70,000 or so easily. We get 60 70,000 or it's not just that one account we trade in. We have multiple accounts that we trade in. So, you know, it's no use taking so much of quantity because safety is much more important than, profits. That's my, principle that.
Definitely.
We
And
say.
that is what Bhavesh has been following really well since the time. And he is the person who has been doing it since 1-2 years. Like वो हमेशा यही सोचता है कि safety is important. And similarly, मैं option buyer हूँ, still I am a conservative option buyer. So we took shots, but I won't say overconfident, but the confidence we have right now is definitely more than the confidence we had a month back. Okay. No doubt we were struggling, थोड़ा struggle करते हैं. I'll be making a video on entire profit and loss as well. See, I want you, all of you to trust us. So I'll be coming up with a video in the next series. जिसमें हम लोग आपको समझाएंगे कि हमने जून से लेके इस क्वार्टर में कैसे ट्रेड किया. तो you can follow us on Instagram as well. We update there on a regular basis. So yeah. So now the major point is कि यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग puts buy कर लेते हैं, I think हमारा 3x profit होता जो हुआ है उसका. Puts अगर buy कर लेते हैं instead of call shots, but regret करने का कोई point नहीं है. We defined the risk. So the things work really well. So I think I've covered everything. Bhavesh, now just tell them about the fundamental reasons which you have been.
I have told them fundamental reason where the FIIs were on selling spree. Crude price going, we're trading around $122, I guess, at the then, and inflation rate, interest hike was expected, and there was no good news that was coming to the market, and still market was higher on June 3, June 9, and stuff. So it was clearly that market, is going to fall. So let's wind up with that and also tell them what is the view for coming days. And that's it's already 45 minutes into the video. We are starting.
Yeah. Okay, so see the view for tomorrow. I gave the
Yeah.
technical view, Bhavesh. You can give the
Yeah.
details.
The thing is, yeah, the data again is showing 4,12,000 or 20,000 call shot with the pros. And the thing is, there's going to be US ka Fed meeting uh, tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and it is expected that they are going to increase the interest rate by 75 basis points. If that happens, Dow is really going to, crash. And there was an article. Actually, the source is PR Sundar. I saw in his video that 75 basis points they are going to increase the interest rate. If that happens, Dow is really going to crash. So if that doesn't happen or things are going normal, I am expecting if that doesn't happen, okay, I am expecting a short covering, a good short covering on, maybe it can come tomorrow as well, either tomorrow or Thursday. And if that, short covering is, around, I get out around 16,100, 200, it might happen. So around that level, I am again, if that happens, I'm again will consider taking a call short. Will consider based on global market. I will decide at 3 on Thursday. Based on global, that should we take call shot or not. I am still bearish. We are still bearish, I think. So let's see. क्या होता है market.
Sure. Okay, we'll wrap up. Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
and do comment if you like the video. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.